Hello everyone, myself Sachin. In this video, we are going to discuss about normal subgroup, group homomorphism, and kernel. Initially, we are presenting normal subgroup. Say here we have group is here G, and we have here subgroup is H. Then if we are able to write XH equals to HX, XH is called left coset and HX called right coset. I mean left coset is equals to right coset for all x belongs to Z. Then this concept is called normal subgroup. We may also write XH x inverse equals to H. If this is also true, then further H will be here normal subgroup. This formula is very easy. If we multiply by x and we are also multiply x, then x inverse x is identity and identity is multiplied by xh, then we will get the xh. I mean this is the here left coset, and h is multiplied by x, we will get here hx. Further left coset equals to right coset, therefore h is here normal subgroup. If we talk about the important facts about the normal subgroup, group G is given. This group is here abelian. We are taking here any subgroup of G. Then any subgroup of G is always normal subgroup if group is the abelian. And if group is not abelian, then subgroup may also the normal subgroup. It depends. In such a case, this group is called Hamiltonian group if group is not abelian. If you are new to our channel, please subscribe the channel. Also like, share and comment the video. If we talk about the example of the normal subgroup, we have here group G under operator plus, and this set is here set of integer. We are taking here subgroup H plus where H is given -4, -2, 0, 2 and 4. We are computing here left coset. Left coset is here 1 plus h because operator is plus. If operator is minus, if operator is multiply, then left coset will be 1 multiply h. But here plus is given, therefore left coset will be 1 plus h. 1 plus h will be here -3, -1, 1, 3, 5. I mean 1 is added in the h. And if we compute h plus 1, h plus 1 also gives the same value -3, -1, 1, 3, 5. I mean left coset equals to right coset for all x belongs to G. Therefore, this subgroup H is normal subgroup. If we talk about another example, say G is given under multiply and elements are here 1, -1, I and I. This G is the abelian and H is here 1I. This is H is here subgroup. We have to demonstrate that here this H is normal subgroup. We may also write directly because G is here abelian group and every subgroup of the abelian group is always the normal subgroup. So there is no need for any computation, but still we can compute. Say we are taking here x equals to -1, then left coset x multiply h equals to -1 minus I, and same value is also computed for the right coset. I mean left coset equals to right coset. Therefore, this subgroup is here abelian subgroup. If we talk about the another important property of the subgroup, we have here a group G under binary operator O. We are taking here a subgroup E is here identity and same operator we are using here. This subgroup contains only one element and this element is identity only. This particular subgroup is called trivial subgroup. Trivial subgroup means group subgroup contains only one element, and this element is identity. Then every trivial subgroup is always normal subgroup, because say we are taking element x and this x is multiplied by e with the identity element, then value is x. Similarly, identity is multiply x, for the result is x. Therefore, left coset equals to right coset. In case of the trivial subgroup, every trivial subgroup is always normal subgroup. Next important concept is group homomorphism. Group homomorphism means here we have two groups G and H. These groups G and H are related, are similar under certain property, under formula, and here formula is our function. Based on function f, this group G and H are similar. This concept is called group homomorphism. Say we are taking here two elements of group G. Elements are here G and H, and we have here function f. Fg, Fh are the element of group H. I mean function f is mapping one element of group G into one element of group H. Similarly, another element of group G is mapped to another element of group H. So we have here similarity based on this function, and further GH is mapping to FG and FH. So this particular concept is called group homomorphism. If we talk about the example, say here we have taking two groups G and I. Function f maps from G to I, and our function is given fn equals to x raised to the power n, where x our belongs to set of f, set of G, and now we are computing. Say we are computing fn. Fn is given here xn, and we are computing here say fm. Fm equals to x raised to the power m. Then we are able to write fm plus n equals to x raised to the power m plus n, m plus n. If we are simplified, x raised to the power m and x raised to the power n, x raised to the power m is given fm and x raised to the power n is given fn. I mean, we have here mapping from x to x raised to the power n, mapping from f to x raised to the power n, and mapping from m plus n is maps to x raised to the power m plus n. Therefore, we have here relation, we have here identical relation based on this function. Therefore, group G and group I are homomorphism. This is here our kernel of homomorphism. Say here we have for the two groups, group is here G, this is here group G, this is here our group H, and we have the inverse image of identity. Inverse image of identity is called the kernel. I mean, one is available here, one is the image, and inverse of one is demonstrated here by kernel. So this kernel is called here basically inverse image of identity. For the kernel, we need here one-to-one function. One-to-one function means if we apply inverse on the image, then we have to get the single element. Therefore, we need here one-to-one function. So in this way, we can specify, we can explain the concept of kernel of homomorphism. Thanking you.